So you've gotten a few contracts here and there, but it's not yet enough to go full-time. So what now? Hello everyone! Welcome to Art Business with Ness. I'm Ness and I'm a professional illustrator. Today we're talking about what it takes to go full-time as an illustrator. I get a lot of questions from artists who are kind of in this in-between point. You're doing very well, but it's not quite yet enough to be full-time. Is this you? You have a great portfolio, you've gotten contracts already here and there, and now all that's left is to really scale that up so that you can do this all the time and be able to leave your day job. Unfortunately, this is also a very tricky stage where a lot of us get stuck. Scaling an art business is actually very different from building an art business, but most of us approach it the same way. We think, okay, what I'm doing is working so far, so I just need to keep doing more of that. But there's actually more to it than just that. Let me explain. But before we jump into it, if you're new here and you would like to see more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell. The bell sends you notifications every time that I upload a new video, and this way you're sure that you won't miss any of the advice. Alright, so why can't you just keep doing what you've been doing all along? Well, it's because there's only so many hours in the day or in the week. So we research companies, we send queries to art directors, then we negotiate deals, we sign the contracts, and we draw the actual art. And then we do it all over again. And this does work, but at some point, you're going to hit the limit where there just isn't any more time in the week for you to send more queries or to draw more art. So what happens if you're working all of the time and you're doing your best, but it's still not enough for a full-time living? At this point, most artists react one of two ways. The first way, super common, is we blame ourselves. And that's what I did at first. I kept thinking, I'm just lazy, or I just don't have what it takes. If only I worked more. If only I stayed on longer at night to draw more art. If only I was more talented, then it would work. I feel you, I really do. But this is bullshit. There's only 24 hours in the day, and working ourselves to death isn't the way to go. The second way that artists tend to react is we just accept that this is as far as we go. I hear a lot of artists at this stage tell me, you know, I've been doing this for 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, and I've never made above a certain amount of revenue. I guess that's just how it is. I guess it's just impossible to make more. As artists, we kind of accept that it's not a viable career option because that's what we've been told all of our lives, and it's easy for us to accept that that's the reality, that this is the limit of how much an illustrator can earn. But this is also bullshit. And this is really sad because after coming all this way and doing better than about 90% of all other illustrators, this is the point where sadly many of us just give up. But let me tell you, not only is it absolutely possible to make a living as a freelance illustrator, it's even possible to be extremely comfortable. I'm excited to tell you that this year, for the first time, for the year 2022, I've achieved over 6 figures for the first time. Yay! I'm now employing my partner with me full-time so he can help me out with the admin stuff of the business. And this year, we just bought our first house. This is possible for you too, but not by doing always more and more, by taking on more gigs and just working yourself to death. This is a recipe for burnout or even physical injury. Reaching out to clients and working on contracts is still very much a thing. But in order to take this up a notch and go full-time, we also need to focus on a few different strategies for the first time. I like to call these strategies Dazzle, Delegate, and Diversify. So let's break that down. First of all, Dazzling. What is this about? Basically, it's just about doing a really, really good job so that you can impress your clients. Why is this important? Well, one of the keys of getting illustration work more easily is getting repeat clients. You have done so much work finding these clients, doing your research, contacting them, and negotiating with them to get those gigs. The worst thing that you can do is after the gig is over to just let them go, never to be heard from again. That is such a waste. It's important not to drop the ball here. So this step is all about learning how to do an impeccable job to impress your professional clients with not only how talented you are, but how pleasant you are to work with, how smooth your process is, how great you are at communication, how you hit all the deadlines, all those sorts of things. We should also build a system here in order to be able to keep those clients into our sphere of influence, where we can keep talking with them and reminding them that we exist every once in a while. This system is a mailing list or a newsletter. Using that, we can easily keep up with all of them at the same time and hit them up for more work later. Strategy number 2 to go full-time is delegating. This is the work smarter, not harder step. There are so many things in your day-to-day running of your business that you can simplify, automate with tools and apps. Now that your art does make money, it's time to start investing in these things that can save you time. Things like a social media scheduler or an accounting software. Even if you have to pay some money for these things, if that's time that saves you that you can work on your art instead, it's worth it, because working on your art, those are your billable hours. You don't get paid when you're working on your accounting or on your social media. You only get paid when you're doing art for customers. The more time that you can do that and the less time that you can do doing other things, the better. It may also be time to start delegating some work. And this one can be really hard to wrap our heads around, because we think, whoa, I'm not even making a full-time living. It's way too early for me to hire someone else. We often think that hiring help is an all or nothing sort of thing, that it means hiring an assistant for $40K a year. But that's not what I mean at all here. There are so many things that you can outsource to a service company or a contractor on a per task basis or a per hour basis. You can hire them as much or as little as you need them. Let's say that it costs you $10 per hour or even $20 per hour to hire their services. If that's an hour where instead you can do art at $75 per hour, well, you're still up $55 per hour rather than if you're doing it yourself. And let's be real, I'm pretty sure you would prefer be doing art than some admin stuff. One of the biggest things that we can delegate is part of our marketing and outreach efforts by partnering up with an illustration agent. An agent is someone who can find some of our work on our behalf and collect a commission percentage from our earnings. The commission is something that a lot of artists sometimes wince at, but when you think about it, it is risk-free, because if they don't find you any work, then they don't get any commission. So you wouldn't have to pay anything. And if they do find you work, then it's definitely worth it, because that's a job that you didn't have to do any of the legwork to find. And that saves you so much time. A good agent is definitely worth their weight in gold. And at this point of your career, you should consider if this is a right fit for you to work with an agent. And finally, the third strategy I want to talk to you about is diversifying. This basically means getting some money from other sources of income as well. There are many possibilities, and you've probably heard of several of them, such as taking commissions or selling art prints or opening up a Patreon account. There are so many things that we can do as artists to get more money. And not only is it financially great for us, but it's also more stable when you don't have all of your eggs in one basket. If for whatever reason, one of your income streams is down one month, the other ones can pick up the slack. This happened to me during the early days of the pandemic. All of my freelance contracts were paused while people were figuring out how to work from home. But during that time, my Etsy shop made record business. So in the end, I wasn't in trouble for those months. Lots of people talk about how important it is to have multiple income streams, but I hear very few people explain why we should be smart about which income streams we decide to pursue. We shouldn't just build random income streams willy-nilly that don't fit well with our existing process. And this is something that I've had to learn the hard way by making lots of mistakes, because no one teaches this. I first started my career by getting picture book clients on a freelance basis. Then I added my Etsy shop where I sell digital planners and digital planner stickers. And then I opened my YouTube channel, Art Business with Ness. And I thought I was very careful about it. I always made sure to do one thing at a time and make sure that the other income streams were stable and I was comfortable in them before developing another one. This delayed but ultimately didn't prevent a breaking point, because all three of those income streams are completely different and separate. They target different audiences, they have different marketing, they use different art. So in effect, I had created myself not three income streams, but three full-time jobs, and I was heading for burnout. So last year, I took a break and I rethought the entire thing. I restructured everything. Some things I let go, some things I changed, and now everything works together. So I can reuse some of the art, so I can reuse some of the marketing, and it just saves me a lot of time. It's so much more efficient. It's just all around better for my sanity. This has allowed me to work a lot less while still making more money, which honestly I think is the way to go. And when it comes to revenue streams, more isn't necessarily better because you don't have infinite time. If you have more than two, you will have to take some time away from some of these revenue streams when you want to focus on one of them, which means inevitably they will dip. It's not always more revenue streams equal more money, because when you don't spend time on it, you don't make as much money. I would suggest no more than two revenue streams, and if you want more than that, then at least one should be passive income, so you still have time to work on the others. So it's important to be thoughtful when creating a new revenue stream. It's important to plan it very carefully so that it can integrate very well into our existing life and existing business, and also plan the business well so that it's a viable business model and we can actually make sales. The whole build it and they will come thing is a complete myth. If you want to make sales, you have to have a real business strategy for your marketing in place. That's something that requires careful planning and preparation. So to summarize, here are the three things on your to-do list in order to go full-time. 1, create systems to dazzle your clients with your smooth working process and bring them into your mailing list so that you can keep hitting them up regularly. Number 2, delegating by getting an agent or hiring different contractors or services, or even just using apps or tools to make your systems more efficient and automated. And number 3, diversifying your income with one or more revenue streams. Those are some really big action items. I hope that this gives you some clarity, but I'm totally with you if right now you're thinking, okay, but how? I need more details. If that's you, I have some really good news for you because I explain exactly how to do all of this step by step in the Art Business Bootcamp Level 3 course. Yes, I said Level 3. Finally, it's here. I've been working on this thing for over a year, and now the doors are going to open in just 2 weeks on March 3rd, 2023. So what's going to be in this course? We're going to cover every single thing that I talked about today, but really break it down step by step so that you know exactly what to do and how to go about it. We're going to talk about how to impress your clients during a contract so that they want to hire you again, how to plan your gigs, create a smooth working process, communicate like a rock star, and keep the client in your network at the end of the job. We're going to cover how to create a mailing list, sign up people, and send newsletter, all the techie stuff to set up a mailing list, how to get an agent, and how to work well with your agent. I'm going to share with you a master list of tasks that you can automate, delegate, or simplify, and exactly how, including a resource page of all the apps and tools that I love to use in my own business. And finally, I'm going to accompany you through every step of creating new income streams, all the different ideas to choose from, how to pick the one that's right for you, and one that will work well within your existing career and market. This is where you'll have unlimited access to me so I can personally advise you on building your perfect income stream. Together, we're going to build you a whole new business, including how to launch it successfully, how to do marketing, and how to grow this business, the whole enchilada. In the Level 3 course, I'm teaching you marketing strategy from scratch. So as you can see, this is a huge course packed with information. The last part alone, diversifying your income, is like a whole mega program in and of itself. Because of how much stuff and how much value is in it, the regular price for this course is going to be $597 But this is the pre-order, and you know me, I love to offer a massive 50% off discount to my pre-order students. So the pre-order price will be only $297. The doors will be open just 1 week. You'll be able to get in between March 3rd and March 12th. So you don't want to miss it. If you want to make sure that you don't miss this opportunity, you can sign up for my waiting list so that you'll be the first to know when the doors open. I'll leave the link to that in the description. But that's it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help our small channel grow. I'm super excited to finally start teaching this material. You guys have been really patient since the end of the level 2 over a year ago, and finally we're going to close the loop with the level 3 so you can go all the way to full-time artist. I can't wait. I'll see you there. Bye bye.